Okay, this is showing you how to use and make K-cups for your clients. Some of the tools you got to have. You need a small funnel, and what you want to do is cut it off so it looks like this. You want this. Now, this wasn't a clean cut, apologize, but that puts an actual 9 to 10 grams in each one of the cups. That's one item you need. You need a bag like this so you can grind the coffee medium fine for K-cups. Until we get big enough to where you're doing an average of 100 a week, you can't afford to be buying the equipment. It's too expensive. So what you want to have is a template, which we'll supply for you. You need to get some legs to cut perfectly square. This dowel works really good for that. To seal them, all you need is a typical household iron. You set it at almost its extreme. You have to play with that depending on the iron and everything. Then you have your lids, which look like this. We have a new change on the lids this year. What we're doing is devil dog circles go in the middle of them so that there's some acknowledgement. Now, most people, if it's only one blend that they're getting, you don't have to put the blend name on these. But if you're doing packaging for, say, a French roast and a Nicaragua, then you have to put a sticker what they are, because most people have a tendency to want to put these in a glass container and grab one as they need it, not keep it in the bags that we supply. 12 cups fit in one of these bags, and we'll show you how to open them and how to load it here as we go through this video. This is the way you label them. You put just a back label on, 2.0 compatible. Underneath, we'll have to put down, it's not on here yet, it's a sticker, a 1x3 sticker about us, and on the back you put the sticker that says we support, that this coffee supports veterans organizations. We'll get to the bag later. We'll start with the cups. The easiest way to do it is to turn your iron on to let it heat up and let it just sit there. You take the bag this way, with facing you, and you just shake your right hand, and it fills a cup so it looks just like this. And then you know you've got plenty in there to make it work. Now the thing about the bag, after you do a few, you got to shake it down like this, otherwise it comes out in a clump and you get a big mess. This takes a little practice, but once you do it, it's easy to do, and you can knock off, like this order's for Pinnell. You can normally knock this off in less than about 15 minutes for all three. So now that time it was starting to slow down, which means you're getting too much weight at the front end. And you just go through each row. You can't use a metal or wood. We started with a wood template, and we found out these cups weren't sealing. And the problem was the wood was a conductor of the heat and was absorbing the heat that we used to seal the cups. The metal is what works. You don't want to get a cheap piece of metal if you want to build a second template, because it won't conduct the heat properly. It's got to be at least this thickness. And when we send you, you'll have something to go by. Again, shake it a few times. Chad can fill these really good with his shaky hands. So that's a good thing. If we have to ship him down to you, you have to pay his expenses. Only kidding. You also have to feed him. Okay, that's it. Your cups are filled. You put your funnel back there. Then you check your lids to make sure there's no grounds on them. Otherwise, they will not seal properly, and you'll get people complaining about it. Then you just take these and you make sure there's only one. When you're doing them too quick, sometimes the tendency is to get them and you think that you have one and you find you have two. They won't seal right. Again, there's a machine that'll do 6 of these, sealing them in about less than a minute. But the cost of that machine is not cheap, and you got to be doing enough cups to justify. There's a new company out of St. Paul, Minnesota that has a setup that will fill the cups, put the lid on and seal them, but they're very proud of that machine. They want $8,500 for it. You got to do a lot of K-cups to justify an $8,500 machine. To give you an idea, we bought 3,000 K-cups in 2020, and we just used them up this year. Okay, now once you have them, you got to make sure your iron's hot. You get the lid like this and you hold it on one corner. You hold the iron down like this to a count of 5 to get it to secure. Then you move just like this across it. Again, to get the lid on square, you hold it for about a count of 5 and then you come across. If you don't hold it till it secures in one corner, the lid has a tendency to move. Again, it's practice. The first ones will not go that fast. You'll think we're out of our mind, but we've been doing a lot of these this way. And we still make mistakes. But our mistakes are way down. Our failure rate doing it this way is less than 1%. These lids with the gray on them are 2.0 compatible. They work in all the older machines also, but this works in all the new machines. All right, now if you look close, you can see sometimes I didn't hold this one quite right, but that's okay to have that little bit of lip showing. That's not a problem. And just to be safe, you go over all of them in a circular motion one quick time. Okay, that's 12 of them. Circles. Forgot to put the circles out. Where did we put the circles?
I think it's in the K-cup drawer.
Okay, K-cups are on a sheet. Your circles are on a sheet like this. You take and get them off. You line them up with the edge of the silver. So, because if you block the silver, the cup won't read. We're looking into having these lids made with the circle on it, the dog on it. The problem with this is, again, the cost. They want you to buy about 10,000 of them, and the cost is not that realistic, because then you got to pay for the artwork on them. We've had companies that have come to us and offered to put our K-Cups together, but again, they want to do 10,000 at a time, or they don't want to even talk to you. And they want to nitrify the coffee so that it lasts longer. The problem is we offer our K-Cups in our flavors and in the straight. You got to have a place to store all of them. This is a quicker way to do it, a more efficient way, until our sales get to the point that we can justify something like that. The major machine that will do everything, including putting the lids on for you, runs about $15,000. Plus you need a building to put that machine in. And that price is buying the machine from China. If you buy the machine from the United States, the price of the machine is almost $100,000. Okay, there you go. Okay, you now completed 12 cups. To check them, the best way to do it then, turn them over and let them fall out. There's no coffee laying around. You're all set. Now you take the bag. These bags open up well on here, but the first thing we want to do is get the other sticker on them, on the front. We use this 3x1. Goes on the bottom like that. On the back side, in our case, we're using these bigger ones. You have a smaller version of that same sticker. Goes across the back. You get the bag open completely so it's flat. The first cup goes in upside down. Then you put one on one side of it, one on the other. Again, this takes a little bit of practice. It doesn't go as fast when you first do it as you're seeing us do it. We've done a few thousand of these now, and we still have problems if the bag isn't open correctly. Now, this is a full 12 cup sale. You also have the samplers, which only have 10 in it, and that works a lot better. That's where you need the names on these, because then you put 2 French roast, 2 espresso, 2 gold, etc. to make up the 10 for a straight. And you can do the same thing with flavor ones. And there's a totally different bag setup. You tap them down like that. You get the seal closed. And then you just touch the sealer on the top edge of the bag so that the tear line can still be opened by the client. That's all there is to it. You've done your first K-Cup bag. You can use this as a reference as you do it. Again, you got to get some stout legs. We will make sure we recess the screws so that they're flush. I didn't get these quite flush enough, but we'll make sure I have it set for you. Good luck.